Some days fly by quickly forgotten. Some have certain meaning. Some will be remembered in pieces. And some will be revered forever. What will many in Chicago, especially those South Side faithful, remember about this day? A day some feared might never come. A day 88 years in the waiting. A day that could make a lifetime. A day that could be today.
Some White Sox fans are in attendance, but the Astro fans are making noise, hoping that their Astros can get up off the deck and force a Game 5. Chicago White Sox, Houston Astros, Game 4. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver in just a second. Well, here are the Chicago White Sox wondering if this is the day that for the first time in 88 years they get to celebrate a world championship, or if it will happen within this World Series. On the other side, the Houston Astros trying to come back from a 3-0 deficit that's never been done in World Series history. If the game of baseball has taught us one thing over the years, it's that every time you think you have it figured out, you're reminded that you know nothing. You think you know who's going to win, how they're going to win it. We don't know. We're just about to watch this game. And for the Astros down 3-0, consider that they've already had a formal wake here in Houston. You go back to the 1st of June and look at the headlines in the Houston Chronicle. Rest in peace, Houston Astros. They were finished at that point. Well, now they're in the World Series for the first time in franchise history. Let's see what happens here tonight. Tim McCarver is my partner. And Tim, here are the White Sox up 3-0. They've won games in so many different ways. Can the Houston Astros come back and win this thing?
Can they? Of course they can. But consider what confronts them. I mean, the White Sox have been playing a relentless brand of baseball in the postseason. It's been so good that a lot of people feel that they could beat any team from any era. And all you have to do is pick a category. Pitching, defense, base running, pinch hitting. Consider this. The guys who have won the last 2 games with home runs, Scott Podsednik and Jeff Blum last night, had 1 home run this year. 1, and they have 2 in the last 2 games.
Tonight for the Houston Astros, it's simple. Get a win and force Game 5 tomorrow night. They go behind Brandon Backey, a 27-year-old right-hander. For the White Sox, their mission, win tonight and celebrate.
No surprises for the Chicago White Sox in their lineup. It's been that way the entire postseason. Brandon Backey to deal with this group, and as we show it to you, it's sponsored by Citi. Podsednik will lead off and left. Iguchi bats second and second. Jermaine Dye hits third and right. Paul Konerko cleans up. Then A.J. Pierzynski had a big 2-out, 2-run double last night. Aaron Rowan in center. Joe Crede at third. Juan Uribe at shortstop. And the pitcher is Freddie Garcia batting the number 9 spot. Brandon Backey, 27 years old, 10-2 in his career here at home. Overall during the regular season, 10-8. This postseason has been in 3 games, no record, and an ERA of 4.91.
One optimistic thing about the Astros is that Backey has a very good record here, 10-2. Standard equipment means fastball, 2 types of fastballs, a curveball, slider, and a splitter. And I don't know if hope springs eternal, but it springs eternal for 1 more night.
Podsednik leads it off for the White Sox, and the first from Backey. Put away ball 1. They talked about it during our pregame, Jeannie and Kevin, that Backey has worn a microphone for Fox Sports throughout the postseason, and we've checked in on him from time to time, bouncing around the dugout, screaming into the mic, cheering on his teammates. And now his teammates are counting on him to make this series last at least 1 more night. He is full of energy. He's going 100 miles an hour. And if you talk to Phil Garner, he doesn't think that's a bad thing. During the regular season, he says maybe you have to slow him down, but in the postseason, maybe some of that adrenaline can make him do things he wouldn't normally be able to do.
Astros trying to feed off that tonight.
There's a 1-1 to Podsednik. Good breaking ball. Strike two.
Fox tracks will allow you to keep track of it all evening.
The 1-2. Back, he started to walk away, thought he had strike three. Instead, it's ball two.
Lower than the last curve.
Home plate umpire is Darryl Cousins. Full count. We have seen Podsednik do this time after time after time. He'll be known for the home run. But what he has done to the opposing pitcher in working deep counts, getting on base, he's stolen 6 in the postseason. Invaluable. That's in the air to left center, slicing to Berkman. 1 away. Well, you know, Lance is in left. We see how the Astros cover the field. It's brought to you by State Farm. In center, it's Tavares. And in right, Jason Lane. No changes to the lineup tonight for Phil Garner. Ensberg, Everett, Biggio, Lamb on the infield. Osmus doing the catching. And Backey in the middle of it all. 1 out. Here's Iguchi. And a new baseball for Brandon Backey.
Chicago White Sox, such a diverse team, as we said in the opening, with their power, pitching, defense, base running. Ozzie being also over the realm of a very diverse cultural team. Iguchi, the only one of Japanese descent, but perfectly appropriate here on Latino night. I hope you enjoyed the pregame. And the great Hispanic players of the major leagues honored. Past and present.
Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. 24% of big league rosters are made up from players from Puerto Rico, the Dominican, Cuba, Mexico, and Venezuela. 40% in the minor leagues. Here's a 1-1. That's on the corner, 1-2. Big Papi, David Ortiz in attendance tonight, part of the celebration. Andrew Jones winning the Hank Aaron Award for the National League for the most home runs. 1-2. Just sticking the bat out and poking it to Lane. 2 out. More about Brandon Backey, 27 years old. He started in the minor leagues as an outfielder. His childhood idols are his teammates, Biggio and Bagwell. That's a nice politically correct answer. And he was acquired from Tampa Bay in 2003 for Jeff Blum, last night's hero with his 14th inning home run for the White Sox. Here's Jermaine Dye. There's ball 1. Blum is 32 years old. He's with his 5th team. One of the most unlikely heroes on either roster. He stepped up with Chicago back in front last night for good. Talked to him before the game. Blum is a guy who his wife gave birth to triplets during the spring. He's got 4 daughters, all in diapers. He's got a 22-month-old also. So when you see that hair standing straight up, you know why.
There's a reason for it.
With 2 out, here's a 2-0 on the corner.
Meanwhile, it was Jermaine Dye, who's at bat last night in the 5th inning, was extraordinary. Being pitched inside by Roy Oswalt, and then flaring one to center. Huge hit in that inning. White Sox winning last night, playing 14 innings and scoring in 2 of them. 5 in the 5th, 2 in the top of the 14th.
And you talked for 5 hours and 41 minutes.
Yeah. So did you.
The 41 is shot into right center field. That ball will get down and go to the wall, and Dye has at least 2. Center fielder Tavares gets it back to Biggio, and Dye was content with a 2-out double.
Had there been 1 out, perhaps Jermaine Dye would have thought about 3rd, but with 2, you can't take a chance. baseball rocketed to right center field. Guy with a home run with 2 out in game 1 off Roger Clemens, and he doubles with 2 out in game 4.
Last 37 games against National League teams, Guy came in hitting .373 with 10 home runs and 28 RBIs. And against Backey of the Astros, he has a 2-out double. Here is Konerko. Breaking ball stays upstairs, ball 1. Backey was born in Galveston, Texas. Lives in League City, Texas. And this year set a career high in victories, innings pitched, starts, and strikeouts. A 2-out double, and now a 1-0 bender for a strike, 1-1.
Notice a high curveball. A lot of pitchers can't throw a good curveball from the stretch. They need the power of the windup to generate the break in the curveball. Both curveballs have been high to Konerko, and I think the Angels know what Konerko could do with high curveballs.
Yeah. He took a couple out in first inning, games 3 and 4 in Anaheim. 1-1 pitch. Up and in, 2-1 on deck is Pierzynski. Konerko, a guy who, as we mentioned early in this World Series, is without a contract past this year, but also a guy who's made Ozzie Guillen happy by not talking about it for 1 minute. Just focusing on what he has to do with the 2005 White Sox. Here's a 2-1. 3-1. What has Konerko done this postseason? During the season, he had his second straight year with 40 home runs and over 100 RBIs. Was the ALCS MVP, and this postseason, 5 homers, 15 RBIs, the all-time franchise leader in those categories. But, as he said, the most important thing that's happened to him, birth of his first child, his son Nicholas, last week.
I know it's chump change compared to what Konerko will get next year when he signs a huge contract. But as a bonus for an MVP of the ALCS, he received $75,000. A lot of players have clauses like that in their contract. All-star teams, MVPs, things of that nature.
3 balls and a strike, runner at second, 2 out. First inning, and Konerko had a rip. It's full. The average person walking down the street would like to have that chump change built into their contract.
Yeah, I was saying that I wasn't trying to be smug, but just compared to the contract that he's going to sign.
Crowd wants to see the top of the first end now. Take a look at the lineup for the Astros. No changes. It's brought to you by Citi. Biggio leads off. Tavares bats second. Berkman is in left. And Ensberg, Lamb, and Lane. Ausmus, Everett, the shortstop. Brandon Backey, a good hitting pitcher, batting ninth. Biggio chops it foul. When you talked to Phil Garner before the game, one of the first questions we asked is whether he toyed with the idea of changing his lineup around after last night's futility trying to hit. With only 2 hits total from the 4th inning through the 14th. He said he toyed with it, but decided against it. As the pitch misses up and in from Garcia, 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia, a 14-game winner during the regular season, and so far 2-0 this postseason. Biggio on with a hit.
White Sox have done such a good job with the opposition in not allowing them to get comfortable, not allowing them to have multi-run leads. And that's what the Astros need to do tonight, reestablish their offense. It disappeared last night.
Funny thing is, the justification for not changing his lineup by Phil Garner was because he thought that these guys were due. Said, I know that Ensberg's a better hitter than a 100 average. I know Biggio's going to hit better. Lamb is likely to walk into a pitch and change the direction of a game by hitting a big home run. So these guys are due for some hits. Berkman's done his part. Ensberg has struggled. But Garner said, well, I'm going to throw him back out there again. Everett, he stays in the game and in the lineup because of his defense. Because the White Sox put the ball in play. 1 ball, no strikes on Taveras. Showed bunt the first pitch. And now bunts it to Creedy. His throw is to first for the out. The sacrifice is good, 5-3. And Biggio gets down to second base. Creedy had a shot at Biggio.
He really did. I think he assumed with Biggio's speed that there's no way that you're going to have a shot at him. But because the ball was hit in the air, Biggio delays right there. That meant that Creedy had a shot at second base. Instead, he takes the sure route to get Taveras.
Taveras had 30 bunt hits during the regular season, was #1 in the National League in that category. Last night he popped one up trying to bunt. This time he almost popped one far enough to get it to Creedy. Remember, in last night's 9th inning, it was 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Taveras up against Orlando Hernandez. And Taveras struck out when some in the park were looking for a bunt and a squeeze play. With 1 out, Berkman takes ball 1.
You said the Astros with only 2 hits, both by Jason Lane, a home run and a double to tie for Houston. But they had 11 walks in the last 10 innings. 11.
From the 9th inning on, they were handed 8 walks. Had a hit batsman, an error. Didn't score. Berkman, 1 ball, 1 strike. At the end of the night, the Astros had left 15 runners on, and so had the Chicago White Sox.
Freddie Garcia has had problems in the first inning. And he is the first starter who is up to clinch for the White Sox. And that's what Ozzie Guillen has tried to preach to Freddie all season. Start the game like there were men on base with that type mentality instead of being laxed when you start.
Here's a 1-1. Berkman strike 2, and to support that, Garcia during the season with runners in scoring position, opponents hit only 195 against him. With the bases loaded, 143, so he seems to tighten up and pitch better when he's in trouble. He's got a runner at second here, 1 out. No score in the bottom of the first of Game 4 of the World Series. Berkman strikes out. And now it's up to Morgan Ensberg, who has really struggled in this series. So with 2 down, we look at the defense and how the White Sox cover the field, brought to you by State Farm. The outfield, Podsednik, Rowand, and Dye, Creedy, Uribe, Higuchi, Konerko on the infield, and A.J. Pierzynski again doing the catching for Freddie Garcia, who was originally signed by Houston back in 1993 as a 17-year-old in Venezuela. That drops in for a strike to Ensberg.
You could see the type series that Morgan has had, that off balance. When he landed on that left foot, he was off balance. More than any hitter on either side, he is caught in between. The worst thing that can happen to a hitter. Even in his stance.
1 ball, 1 strike. Something that Garner talks about, that his timing is off. He doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. Starting with that wide open stance and striding into the pitch. Up and away, 2-1. On deck is Mike Lamb, but at the plate is Ensberg. A check swing grounder to the right side. Garcia flips for the out. And the cleanup hitter for the Houston Astros, Morgan Ensberg, still struggling. Off we go to the second. No score, White Sox and Astros. As we go to the second, there is no score here in Houston. Who's keeping score? Barbara Bush. Watching every pitch, as she did here last night. All 5 hours and 41 minutes of it. First up is A.J. Pierzynski, Aaron Rowand, and Joe Crede. 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Chicago, and Pierzynski drills Backy. Somehow he knocks it down, picks it up, says he's okay, 1 out. You know, we didn't get a chance to him to talk about the play he made to end the top of the first, and it probably saved a run, and here he turns into a wall, knocks it down, and gets the out.
He went from saving a run to saving a serious injury on that line drive by Pierzynski. That was a terrific play to end the first inning.
Brandon Backy is part of a young group of Houston Astro players that are about as pleasant a group as you're going to run across, and guys that are wide-eyed, taking it all in, very confident players. I think that even continues with the Astros down 3-0. You talk to guys like Burke, and you talk to guys like Lane and Backy and some of the others that filter this roster for Phil Garner, and you didn't get any sense being around their clubhouse that they thought they were defeated already. Rowan chops one to third. Ensberg for out number 2. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Joe, just to play off what you were saying about the mood of one team facing elimination, another one close to closing things out. I asked Phil Garner about having a special meeting, since in a sense he called out his team a little bit after last night's marathon loss. He said, no, we don't need a meeting. These guys know what they're up against. So I talked to A.J. Pierzynski, and he said, we have to take care of business. We don't want to give them any life. We got them down. We want to stomp on them. We want to crush them. And I said, all right, I got the idea.
All right, Chris, thanks. With 2 out, nobody on, here's Crede. Ball 1 down and away. Garner said, if I have one more meeting, they're going to laugh at me. I've had 4 meetings since I said I wasn't going to have any more. Like, oh, we're supposed to take this one seriously now? That's just the kind of season that they've had, where they look down and out. And they've been able to come back. Started 15-30. The first team to get to postseason baseball since the early 1900s. At one point, they were as many as 15 games under the 500 mark. Here's a 2-0 to Crede. Good pitch.
Two ball and no strike, breaking ball, and a fastball count.
With 2 out and nobody on, Crede fouls it back. 2-2. 93 miles per hour from Brandon Backy.
It's always good to follow a breaking ball when you're behind in the count with a fastball, because the breaking ball slows the bat down. The fastball makes him foul the ball off the other way, as Crede just did. It's not exact, but it's a good philosophy.
Full count.
Breaking ball misses inside.
Crede, 2 home runs in this series, 4 in the postseason. His home run last night got the scoring started for the White Sox. Pops it up. Brandon Backy in the first 2 innings is doing his part. Astro offense come to life. Lamb first up for Houston. No score. Mike Lamb, Jason Lane, Brad Ausmus for the Astros in the second. No score. Freddie Garcia drops one in for strike one. Lamb in this World Series 1 for 8. A home run in his first World Series at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lamb rips one into right field. Back at the wall. It's off the top of the wall, and Lamb is into second base with a double.
Mike Lamb gets a fastball that tails out over the plate and just hammers it to right field. It missed going out of the ballpark by about 3 feet. Same trajectory that the game winner from Blum had last night. Good play by Guy to get it in hurriedly. Land in there.
Blum's only question after he hit it was if he hit it high enough. He did. Lamb didn't. It's a double, and here's Jason Lane. Ball 1 high. Brzezinski popping up and looking down at Lamb. There was no one near second base. And Lamb was able to bounce off with a big lead. Iguchi a little closer. On a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night, 14th inning after a tremendous double play turned by the Astros. Jeff Blum put the White Sox on top for good. Lane fouls it off to the right. You know, Blum, we talked to Ozzie about it before the game, Tim, and I said, did you think at all of putting Pablo Ozuna in the game at second instead of Blum? And he went and he got his lineup card out of his locker. He said, look, I had Ozuna in there, and right at the last moment he changed his mind to put a guy like Blum, a switch hitter, in there to bat left-handed against Estacio. He still had Ozuna written on his lineup card, and Blum hits the home run.
Whiteout comes in handy for managers, huh?
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Runner at second, nobody out. Lane, 2-2. When you're hot, you're hot if you're Ozzie Guillen. This season with the White Sox, Blum, who was picked up in August from San Diego. Everybody around Chicago said, are you kidding me? That's who we're getting? We've got a chance to win the World Series, and the guy that we're adding for the postseason roster is Jeff Blum.
He had no RBIs the last 2 months of the season. Last RBI was August 30th.
Lane had a pitch to hit, still 2-2. Blum made that deal look fantastic. Traded him for a minor leaguer. And that smile has not left his face since early this morning.
He was a sociologist major at the University of California, and he's socially accepted in the White Sox clubhouse now.
Here's a 2-2. Lane strikes out. Garcia comes up with his second strikeout of the night.
Good breaking ball from Garcia. That's the thing, if you're a pitcher and you can get a hitter to think it's a strike, and you got him. It's one of those pitches that looked like a strike and wasn't.
Now it's Ausmus. Only 2 RBIs this entire postseason in 53 at bats. Drove home 47 during the regular season. On the inside corner, strike one. You think about this White Sox rotation. Burley through 236 and 2/3 innings led the AL. Garland 221, Contreras 204, Garcia 228. Takes a load off your bullpen. Garcia missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And they have a kid, Brandon McCarthy, a young right-hander who they love, who went 3-2 in 12 starts. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ausmus. To the left side, it's a foul ball. Foul ball for strike 2. That's Joe West, the third base umpire tonight, the crew chief.
Once it goes by the bag, it's the third base umpire's call. And you could see that ball would have been fair had it not hit the cutout and taken a left. One more time. Doink.
So Ausmus thought he was out. Got it all the way. I'm back and ready to hit. 1-2. Old school Astros. Rainbow uniform from the Astrodome. They became the Astros in 1965 when they moved into the Dome. 1962, their first year, they wore the Colt 45s. And with Uribe playing around behind Mike Lamb, Garcia steps off. Garcia won Game 3 of the division series at Boston, went 5 innings. He won Game 4 of the ALCS in Anaheim. An 8-2 complete game. Allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. 2-2.
Sometimes who's covering second base can be an indicator as to how a team's trying to pitch you. If the shortstop's covering with a right-handed hitter up, that means they'll probably pitch you away, because the second baseman has to hold his position. That's why toying with Lamb at second base is the shortstop Uribe and not Iguchi.
Struck him out looking, and that's back-to-back strikeouts after the double. And 3 on the night for Freddie Garcia. Ausmus knew it. It's time for our Lunesta trivia question. Who was the last pitcher to throw a complete game in the World Series? We have to know this. Remember, the White Sox came into this World Series with 4 straight complete games in the ALCS. 2 out, it's up to Adam Everett. Ball 1.
Whenever you say we have to know this, the chances of me knowing it are remote.
But I said we, so I'm in there with you. Lamb's ball missed getting out by 3 feet. It was a double instead of a home run. It takes a hit from Everett. 2-0, first base open and the pitcher on deck, but Backey can swing the bat.
Backey, a .246 lifetime hitter. And of course, Houston fans trying not to get ahead of themselves and worry about who's starting tomorrow night, because they have to win tonight. But it is a big question around town. Will Roger Clemens start if the Astros win this evening?
Everett fouls it away. It's 2-1. Well, last night, for 5 hours and 41 minutes, the Astros had no trouble getting guys on. At times, they were able to move them over, but they could not get them in. In this postseason, Adam Everett 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Up on the count here, 2-1. Right down the middle, 2-2.
Good breaking ball from Garcia, who is very adept at getting his curve over in fastball situations. He's done it several times in the first 2 innings.
Garcia, only 29 years old. Right in his pitching prime. Here's 2-2. Everett to third. Backing up on it is Creedy. And the throw for the out. A wasted leadoff double by the Astros. Lamb hit it. And then he sat and watched with the rest of us. Third inning, Houston, no score, game 4. The White Sox will send in Juan Uribe, Freddie Garcia, and Scott Podsednik, the 8-9-1 hitters. For Chicago, no score, third inning. Ball one up and in from Brandon Backey. Uribe has 4 hits and 12 at bats, 2 RBIs in this series. 1-0, popped up into center. Tavares drifting. 1 away. Freddie Garcia will step to the plate. He'll tell you he's got a lot of power. And Garcia doesn't like the bat that he took with him, so he's going to ruin somebody else's bat. Give me, I don't know, Canercos.
Yeah, because American League pitchers with a designated hitter, they don't get a chance to order bats. So naturally, they use the regulars, and the regulars, none of them like them.
Well, what do you think? Does Freddie Garcia look like The Rock? There's the tail of the tape. Freddie from Venezuela, Hayward, California for The Rock. I see it a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch inside, a little down from Backey. These are 2 good athletes hooking up. The 2 pitchers tonight. And Garcia, part of that pipeline that the Astros have enjoyed over the years from Venezuela. Shoots one into center, got a good rip. Tavares is there, 2 down. Tim, at one point, the Astros had Johan Santana, Melvin Mora, who they released, Carlos Guillen, who went in the deal with Freddie Garcia for Randy Johnson, and Bobby Abreu from Venezuela. The Astros signed all of them. Abreu is the only one to play for Houston. He did so briefly. He's a terrific player. Was the home run champ at last year's All-Star game. They have an academy, the Astros do, in Venezuela. And Andres Reiner is responsible for finding all of that talent. And Garcia, part of it for the Astros, and as we said, dealt in July of '98 for Randy Johnson. Here's Podsednik with 2 out, ball 1.
Randy Johnson helping the Astros reach postseason that year, and then losing twice to the San Diego Padres. And the Padres eventually faced the Yankees to lose 4 in a row in the World Series in '98.
You could win a lot of games with that list of players right now.
I should say. Well, you know, that's what organizations do. When they sign players, they sign them with the intent to get to the big leagues. They don't care with what team. They may use that player as trade bait to get them.
There's Podsednik into right center field, a 2-0 pitch that is ripped. Lane is out to get it. Podsednik will test Biggio. They got a shot to get him. The throw, not in time. And safe at third is Scott Podsednik.
Rather risky with 2 outs. You have to know and make sure the second triple of this World Series for Podsednik. You mentioned the home run. Scott very fleet of foot and is safe at third, probably because Jason Lane missed the first cutoff man. If he hits the first cutoff man, then perhaps Everett would have had a chance. Perhaps.
So now with 2 out, Podsednik at third. Here's a chance for the White Sox to take a Game 4 lead. And it's Tadahito Iguchi at the plate. This postseason came in to this game as a 171 hitter against right-handed pitching with 11 strikeouts. He flied to right his first time up, trying to deliver a 2-out RBI hit. Backey works from the windup to short. Everett hanging over. Backey has pitched 3 scoreless. He'll lead it off in the bottom of the third with Biggio and Tavares to follow. Game 4, no score. Our Lunesta trivia question: who was the last pitcher to throw a complete game in the World Series? The answer: Josh Beckett. Game 6 of the 2003 World Series, a 5-hit shutout. took the crowd out of it. It happened at Yankee Stadium, and he was so brilliant that you just kept waiting for the Yankees to do something, waiting, and the next thing you knew, the game was over, and the Marlins were world champs, thanks in large part to the pitching of Beckett, not only in that World Series, but the entire postseason in 2003.
And that was the same World Series, you may remember, where Roger Clemens had the standing ovation and then announced his retirement after the World Series. That was a standing ovation when he left Game 4. Announced his retirement and then signed with the Astros the following spring, along with buddy Andy Pettitte.
Breaking ball strikes out Backey looking, and Garcia has rung up 4. So the pitcher is gone, and Biggio, the leadoff man, will dig in. Back to Game 4, 2003. Clemens pitching great, walked off the field, was saluted by the fans down in Miami. Tipped his cap and saluted the players over in the Marlins dugout, which included Ozzie Guillen, who was a coach for Jack McKeon. And then when Andy Pettitte worked out his deal to come here to Houston, hometowner Roger Clemens followed right after. Here's Biggio, took a ball from Freddie Garcia. 2-0.
I think you can ask that question once again. Was Game 1 of the World Series this year the last time we will see Roger Clemens? Or will it be tomorrow night? Compelling.
Is it 2-0? The question is, will we ever see him pitch again in a big league uniform? Realize he was 13-8. Didn't get a lot of run support and had a 1.87 ERA. It's not like he's out of gas. No. Biggio, who singled his first time, grounds to Creedy. 2 out. And with the bases empty, Willie Taveras will step to the plate. Willie dropped down a sacrifice bunt his first time. Probably the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in the National League is Taveras, who skipped AAA. Got better and better as the season went on. Got off to a great start in Games 1 and 2 in Chicago. If you compare his numbers to the numbers other rookies put up in the National League, that's his season. Creedy cuts it off. That saved a hit. Good play. Joe Creedy ranging far to his left. Astros go in order. 4th inning rolls in Game 4. Chicago and Houston, no score. Three, 4, and 5 hitters for each side in this 4th inning. Jermaine Dye doubled his first time up, takes a strike from Brandon Backey. Last night we were talking about how it was the most important game in Astros franchise history. They had Oswalt on the mound. They built up a 4-0 lead, but it wasn't enough. Dye is on with a hit. He's 2 for 2. Game summary is brought to you by Verizon Wireless VCast. Sednick, his 3rd triple this postseason. That went for naught in the 3rd. The Astros leadoff man reached in the 1st and 2nd, but Houston didn't do anything with it. And so far, with runners in scoring position, the Astros 0 for 5, the White Sox 0 for 2. Here is Konerko, who bounced back to Brandon Backey, the pitcher. Made a good play to end the top of the 1st. Strike 1. Chicago White Sox with a $69 million payroll, trying to secure the first world championship for the White Sox in 88 years. No balls, 1 strike, 1 on, nobody out. The breaking ball from Backey, strike 2.
Konerko waving at the first two pitches from Backey. This one a very, very good breaking ball, but we've seen throughout the postseason how Konerko adjusts with 2 strikes. He tries to hit the ball to right field. Up to 2 strikes, he tries to pull the ball. So look for an adjustment here by Konerko.
Laid off it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I don't know if Backey has blinked since this game has started. He is focused, pumped up, and so far he's put up 3 scoreless, but he deals with a leadoff hit by Dye. Konerko up, Pierzynski to follow, and then Rowan. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High and tight, 2-2. Now a 2-2. Breaking ball is hanging and hammered. We talk focus on the part of Brandon Backey. Here's Brandon talking about it.
When I'm out there on the mound, I really don't see anything. When I'm out there on the mound, I really don't see anything going on around me other than the catcher and my teammates. And I think that's what's going to help me succeed in hopefully this game or in the rest of my career, for that matter.
He's 2-2 on Konerko, a dangerous Chicago hitter. 1 on, nobody out, and struck him out. His first strikeout of the night.
That was a pitch the White Sox had not seen. The straight changeup. After 3 breaking balls away, a fastball in, and a changeup and a beauty. See how out in front Konerko was. Good pitch by Backey.
1 on, 1 out for Pierzynski. Sharp ground ball back up the middle. Actually, a line drive that went into the body of Backey his first time up. Backey made the play. A check on Dye. At the bottom of this 4th, it'll be Berkman, Ensberg, and Lamb. 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Houston. Taking all the way. Strike 1. Just stood there with a bat on his shoulder.
That's odd too, particularly with the runner on at first being held on. As you're trying to take advantage of that hole on the right side. You don't want to spot a good pitcher. 1 strike. That's what Pierzynski did.
Now he ropes one foul down the right field line. 0-2. Slowly but surely, Brandon Backey is giving these Houston fans some hope tonight. Check on Jermaine Dye.
Talk about 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts. If you make a hitter reach and he gets a hit, there's nothing you can do about it. But you don't want to do him a favor and get to 0-2 and pitch him like it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Back inside again, and the count's still 0-2. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach we saw moments ago, sitting with Roger Clemens. I think the answer to your question earlier about Clemens tomorrow night is nobody knows. Nobody knows if there is a Game 5 tomorrow night, if Clemens' hamstring will allow him to pitch. Depends on how he feels when he gets to the park tomorrow. Right now it's Backy in Game 4. His 0-2. Pierzynski did not go. Ball 1.
That is a good slider in off the plate, particularly 0-2. So Backy has Pierzynski thinking inside. You remember the ball he pulled? Foul hard. Then he grounded one foul. He did not go around on that slider. Now they'll go away.
That's down the right field line, hook foul. Pierzynski with 3 hits in 12 trips in this World Series. One on, one out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Chicago catcher. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 outs.
Another diving slider in off the plate. The hitters will let you know what kind of stuff you have. Pierzynski going after the bad slider in the dirt.
So Backy gives up the leadoff hit to Dye, comes back to strike out Konerko and Pierzynski, and now works to Aaron Rowan. Strike 1. Rowan has hit the ball hard in this World Series. Backy could strike out the side here in the 4th.
He's got the slider working and going down for him now. Good running situation because of all the breaking balls that Backy has been throwing. He throws one out of the strike zone. Dye, a fairly fast runner. He had 11 steals during the season.
Brandon Backy, who has won a grand total of 16 games in his big league career. As the Astros' hopes pinned to his chest. Down 3-0, working in Game 4. To the red-hot White Sox, and another throw to check on Jermaine Dye. 0-4 in his career in 4 starts against American League teams. Big ERA of over 9 during interleague play. Rowan hits it foul. Talked to Gary Gaetti, the hitting coach for the Astros, before this game, and asked him about Backy. He said, I just like to watch him pitch. Bounces around out there. He's got good stuff, good breaking ball. People around the country don't know much about him. They will after tonight if he does well against the White Sox and extends this World Series. Dye takes off, swing and a miss. Backy strikes out the side. No score into the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Berkman, Ensberg, and Lamb, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Astros. Bottom of the fourth inning, no score. Berkman struck out his first time. Garcia has struck out 4. Ball 1 down and in. How about that outfit? Little shout out to NASA.
Yeah.
Little space kid. Here's a 1-0. 2-0.
Well, right now the Astros have a problem.
Here's a 2-0. 3-0 from Garcia. On 3-0, Berkman takes a strike. 3-1. Garcia hasn't walked anybody. Allowed no runs on 2 hits. That's ball 4, and Berkman wanted to make sure.
You know, the last time up, we talked about Morgan Ensberg and how confused he looks at the plate. Watch his front foot. Not quite as open there. Right of your screen. Open, then he closes. Now he's wide open on the left for game 3 to close. And later on in game 3, he stays closed. And that tap toward first base his first time up. An example of just how confused he is at the plate right now.
Takes a fastball for a strike. First at bat tonight.
All off balance, back on his left heel. You know, that front foot serves as kind of a feeler to hitters as to what their at-bat's going to be like. They've got to have balance on the front foot, and Morgan doesn't have that right now.
Ensberg fouls it back and out of play. It's got to be a disconcerting, almost frightening feeling to be playing on the biggest stage in the sport and not be confident in your swing as a cleanup hitter for a team.
Well, you can see, again, he's more closed now than he was taking the first pitch. And in the hole. And that's when you're going poorly. Seems like you're in the hole all the time. You almost come up to the plate with it 0-2.
Ball 1. Saw how his power numbers have dropped off since early September.
But as Phil Garner said, maybe Morgan can run into one tonight.
A leadoff walk. Ensberg strikes out. 1 on, 1 out. And that's 5 strikeouts for Freddie Garcia.
The left foot, Morgan Ensberg's first at bat tonight. Wide open. Almost headed toward third. Second at bat, you don't know where your front foot is. So if you don't know where your front foot is, you can't pick the ball up very well.
And on pitches middle half away, he can't reach it.
No. That's one of the problems with that open stance to begin with.
Here's Lamb, who almost hit a home run his first time up. Missed it by about 3 feet. High off the wall and right. And Garcia stays away, ball 1. So 5 strikeouts to go with a 1 walk and 2 hits. It's the night for Garcia. Lamb is up. Lane is on deck. Berkman takes off, and on a hit and run, Lamb fouls it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
With the hit and run on, you as the runner at first base do not want to get picked off. So you take 2 steps, look back. Normally, I don't think Phil Garner would be hitting and running with a power hitter like Lamb. But the Astros offense is desperate right now.
He's just looking for any spark to get this team going. Lamb delivered that double leading off in the second, and then back-to-back strikeouts and a ground out. That was it. A leadoff hit by Biggio in the first. A bunt by Taveras got him the second. Berkman struck out, and Ensberg tapped back to Garcia. Teammates nicknamed the swing of Mike Lamb the Thing. Holds his hands way away from his body as he waits for a 1-1. 2-1. Outfield is, for the most part, straight away. Every time you take a shot at center field here in Houston, there's Backey. He didn't blink. He hasn't blinked yet. There's one. Realize how big center field is here at this park. Here comes a 2-1. Lamb pokes it down the left field line, foul. 2-2. They call it Towles Hill. Wanted some unique aspects to this park. First year here was 2000, and that hill and the flagpole out there in play, and to hit it out straightaway center, 436. Two balls, two strikes on Lamb. Slow roller. Iguchi throws to second. They get the lead man, 2 out. Good play by Tadahito Iguchi as he cut down Berkman.
I'll tell you, it's a good play by Berkman, too. Had he been running in the outside part of the line, perhaps that ball hits him. It's a perfectly legal play. Eddie Stanky used to talk about when you're going into second base like that, try to shield the ball from the runner. See, if he's out here instead of in here, perhaps the ball hits him. You try to run to the outside if you're going to stand up, thereby getting in the way of the throw.
So Iguchi gets Berkman. The inning continues with Lamb at first, 2 out, and here is Jason Lane. Lane struck out his first time. Takes ball 1 inside. Still wondering where the offense is going to come from for these Astros. A leadoff walk. Ensberg struck out. Lamb grounded out. And Lane evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Try to clarify that if a runner is running from third on a softly hit ball, if he runs out here, he can still touch the base. If he runs in here, the shortstop's going to be in this area there. And if you slide, you actually make it easier for the shortstop to see the ball. Watch Berkman. He stands up, and that's the proper thing to do, but he runs back inside, and the shortstop has a clear view to catch the ball.
Lane grounds to short. Uribe to second for the force out to end the inning. A leadoff walk. The Astros strand their third, and we go to the 5th inning of a scoreless Game 4. Back after this from your local station. Brandon Backey has worked 4 scoreless. He has scattered 3 hits, struck out the side last inning, and here is Creedy to start it. Creedy, Uribe, and Garcia. Bottom 3 in the lineup for Chicago. And a breaking ball is in for a strike. Good tight break to these deliveries from Backey. 0-1. Creedy flying to right his first time up. Oh, 2. He struck out 4 in a row. His pitching coach, Jim Hickey, visited with Tim McCarver.
Jim Hickey with Brandon Backey throwing so well tonight. Your thoughts about him thus far?
Well, my thoughts about him thus far are he's probably as close to a prototypical American League pitcher as anybody we have on the staff. You know, in the terms that he can throw the off-speed pitches and fastball counts and start hitters with off-speed pitches too. He's got 4 legitimate pitches, and he's following his game plan to a T. And of course, you know, the difference is the ability to execute a pitch, which he's done so far.
It seems like what he is doing exceptionally well is working both sides of the plate.
Well, he's working both sides of the plate, and the key is that he stays on that outside part of the plate when he wants to go to that outside part of the plate. That's where he has a tendency to get in trouble as the ball starts to come back a little bit, but he's done a great job so far.
Is Chad Qualls available this evening?
Chad Qualls is available this evening. He said he felt okay. We probably wouldn't use him for more than 1 inning. That being said, you know, you just never know what's going to happen, but I wouldn't think you'd see him for more than 3 outs.
Jim, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Inches away from 5 consecutive strikeouts. Backey on 0-2 through this and thought he had Uribe. Looked to be outside, and now with 1 out, the 1-2. Got him anyway. In case you're wondering, the World Series record is 6 for consecutive strikeouts, and Backey is at 5 with a pitcher, Garcia, coming up.
I was thinking the same thing. He's got a chance to tie it with Freddie Garcia coming up. 5 in a row. Excellent breaking ball.
Leadoff hit by Dye in the 4th, and then he struck out Konerko, Brzezinski, Rowan, Creedy, Uribe. And he's 2-0 on Garcia. This is a spot where, when we talked to Garner, I was thinking about slowing Backey down, and right now he goes behind the mound, turned his back to home plate, took a deep breath, and he's back on top with a 2-0 for Garcia, who can swing the bat. 2-1. Backey was 5-6 years old. His dad nicknamed him Hot Rocks because he bounced around so much. And he'll bounce off that mound if he can strike out 6 in a row in the World Series. Two and 2 on Garcia. Ausmus, Everett, and Backey will bat for Houston in the bottom of this 5th inning. Hard hit, Ensberg. Old Hot Rocks is through 5 scoreless in Game 4.
Old Hot Rocks.
Backey jogs back to the dugout. No score here in Houston. We move into the bottom of the 5th. Ausmus first up, and he shoots one into center. A leadoff hit for Houston. That is the 4th time in the first 5 innings that the Astros have put their leadoff man on.
Off the end of the bat into center field, and with the bottom part of the lineup, it's very difficult to bunt with the guy that you would normally bunt with right now, Adam Everett, because as you know, in the National League, the pitcher is hitting 9th. So Backey is a good hitting pitcher, but is he better than Everett? So we'll see how Garner goes right here. Will he bunt, hit and run? I think it'll be one of the 2.
First pitch, nothing on, and a ball down and away. Garcia's had good velocity tonight. Had the ability to get the breaking ball over behind in the count. He's racked up 5 strikeouts, as has Brandon Backey.
Good time to hit and run right now because Everett is ahead in the count, and the pitch out is remote.
There goes Osmus. Hit and run is on. Throw to second. Out over to first. Double play. Even with the hit and run on, Creedy and Iguchi turn a 5-4-3 double play.
What cat-like instincts for Joe Creedy. The backhand, throwing to second base, knowing full well that you're still going to get Everett because the ball was hit so hard. That is a terrific play once again by Joe Creedy. He has been everywhere for the White Sox in the postseason.
You know, Osmus went in with his left leg up in an effort to take out Iguchi. And in so doing, it took him a little longer to get to the bag. And the throw by Creedy beat him. For the first out. And then the double play, 5-4-3, and the White Sox have done that this entire postseason. Backey with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. So you were right, the hit and run was on. And even with the hit and run, the double play is the result. Backey was trying to take matters into his own hands.
Trying to put the Astros ahead with that swing. That slider didn't cooperate, however. No.
With 2 down, 2-2. It's obvious, though, with the 2 at-bats that we've seen, we've got a matchup of 2 guys who are on tonight with their stuff on the mound and 2 guys who can swing the bat.
Yeah.
With the bases empty, 2 out, Backey pops one down the right field line. Canerco gives it a look, but can't get there. This date in baseball history, October 26, 1997. The Marlins, who were formed in 1993, became the fastest team in baseball history at the time to win a World Series title with a 3-2 win over the Indians. More information, Major League Baseball. You can log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Keyword Budweiser. Full count now on Backey. Backey hits it to third. Creedy bobbles. Goes off the arm, and the Astros, despite the 4th time in 5 innings putting their leadoff man on, get nothing. 6th inning, top of the order for each side. Game 4 is still scoreless. White Sox have 3 hits tonight. Backey has struck out 5, and Podsednik grounds to short. Everett 1 out. Here's Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie Guillen, your team is up 3-0. How do you guard against your team relaxing now, thinking that this thing is in the bag?
Well, it's not in the bag. I think my team's prepared. Take one game at a time. We don't count anything yet. I think we got to keep playing hard, keep playing the way we're playing all year long.
These 2 pitchers tonight seem like they're on. Backey has shown you good stuff, and your guy Garcia has made some good pitches.
Well, Backey just keep people out of balance. I mean, he's throwing a lot of sliders behind the count, and keep honesty with their slider. And right now we have a little trouble to making contact.
I watched you during that entire celebration for the Latino Legends. That was something that was special here before tonight's game.
Well, it was amazing. I think we did the recognition now. We not did it before, and believe me, it's nothing better when you're a Latin player, Latin coach, Latin manager. When people give the recognition to your country, it's something you feel proud about it.
Ozzie, thanks for your time. Good luck.
I like talking about Latino, Venezuela.
1-ball, 1-strike, 1 out, nobody on. Iguchi 2 times in this at-bat showed bunt, and that's what they think of the stuff of Brandon Backey. In case you tuned in late, Juan Marichal was voted the starting pitcher on the
Latino Legends team, and with that distinguished walked out and took his place in the middle of this diamond.
The Dominican dandy was the toughest pitcher I ever faced.
1-2, Gucci grounds it foul. He was joined out there. This is off the top of my head memory. Fernando was out there. Here they are. But Clemente's sons, A-Rod, Edgar Martinez, Rod Carew, Pudge, Ivan Rodriguez, Pedro Martinez wore his Mets hat out there with pride. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Backy. And Gucci fouls it. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Yeah, Joe, you know, you were talking to Ozzie Guillen moments ago. During that ceremony, he was somewhat emotional, saying watching his roots, he related a little bit. But the World Series game tonight being broadcast in 12 different languages and in 246 different countries and territories. It truly is the World Series.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Gucci. Backy trying to put him away. Slow roller. Tough play for Everett. Bare hand pickup for the out.
Wow.
That's why, despite a cold bat, Phil Garner kept Everett in the lineup tonight.
Oh, that's a terrific play by Adam Everett, who was forced to barehand the ball and make the play. You see a lot of third basemen barehanding the ball, but rarely do you see a shortstop. He has too far to go. Dandy play by Everett.
And how about these swings that the White Sox hitters are getting against Backy?
He's 1 pitch ahead of the White Sox hitters thus far.
That one drops a little low, ball 1 to Jermaine Dye, who has 2 of the 3 hits for the White Sox. A double in the first, a leadoff single in the 4th, and then Backy started striking everybody out. You know, the funny thing is, this World Series, the White Sox are up 3 games to nothing, but every game has been nail-bitingly close. I mean, this is night after night. Last night, 14 innings. 5 hours and 41 minutes. Dye takes a strike, 2-1. Game 2 was a 7-6 win on the walk-off home run by Podsednik after the Astros tied it with a 2-out, 2-run hit by Vizcaíno and a 5-3 win for the White Sox in Game 1. They tacked on an extra run in the 8th. On the corner, it's 2-2. Fans, join Major League Baseball in our efforts to rebuild the Gulf Coast. Support Habitat for Humanity by calling 1-800-HABITAT. Logging on to MLB.com or Habitat.org. Biggio first up, 6th inning. But Selig, the commissioner of baseball, what a banner year it was this year across the major leagues. Record attendance, great races, the wild card. Much fun was that, tracking that down the stretch. And it was the Astros clinching on the final day to hold off the Phillies. As Biggio drops down the bunt, it stays fair, and Krasinski gets the out. The put out, 2-3.
Good play by Krasinski. Notice how he barehands it and pivots on that right foot to get something on the throw.
So with 1 out, Willie Taveras steps in. Well, he's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. He grounded out in the 3rd. Garcia. Line drive into right is a hit. Mark Burley, who got the save last night, is wearing a microphone down on the bench for Fox Sports.
Like right above the umpire's head, where the light, it's way up there, like top of that row with like the light. You see how it's light and then it's dark from the overhead? There's a person up there that looks like a Sox shirt, but it's like all lit up. And he was just up dancing. And it was like flashing.
He came out of the bullpen last night to get the final out with 2 on and 2 out, and his team up by 2 in the 14th. He got Everett to pop up. He was the starter, got a no decision in game 2. When he went 7, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. I think Taveras has got to use his speed and try to get a jump and steal a base. Berkman is at the plate. Taveras stole 34 bases during the regular season and does not have one in the postseason. Different ways to try to get something going offensively. If Taveras can figure out Garcia. Does not have a big lead. And the count 2-0 on Berkman.
It's particularly good to do it with a left-handed batter up because a catcher has a tough time seeing the runner because the left-hander is in the batter's box. To try to let you know from the bench, they'll say, there he goes. If he runs with the right-hander up, you know he's going. You can see him.
He's got a little bit bigger lead right now.
He's been very tentative. You're right.
That's his game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And he hasn't used it.
Nope.
He's not in the lineup to hit home runs. He's in the lineup to get on and try to steal bases, and he has not done that. 3-0 on Berkman.
Now, of course, it's not a good running situation because you're trying to give Berkman, even if the next pitch is a strike, a chance to hit a favorable count.
Garcia walks Berkman on 4 pitches and puts 2 on with 1 out. But again, it's Morgan Ensberg who finds himself in the position to do something for Houston. He's 0 for 2. He's tapped back to the pitcher, struck out, and has not looked good in his 2 plate appearances against Garcia tonight. No score, bottom of the 6th inning, game 4 of the World Series. The White Sox leading this series 3 games to nothing. Fouled for strike 1. You can see Garcia keeping the ball away, down and away in particular with Ensberg and his hitting stance.
You know, when a hitter is as confused as Morgan has been throughout the series, you don't want to feed one into his wheelhouse. Just watching Taveras down there, he was so tentative getting off of second base. It's a terrible lead.
Away again, and this time too far away. 1 ball, 1 strike. A scoreless game. The guy with the speed of Willie Taveras is leading off second like he would off first, being held on. The 1-1. 2-1. Morgan Ensberg hit 36 home runs during the regular season. He has 1 this postseason. It came in game 2. In this World Series, he is 2 for 16. Again, Garner keeping him in the lineup and in the cleanup spot, hoping that, as he said, he can run into a ball and change the direction of the game. He tried down the left field line. It's foul.
A mistake by Garcia. And a foul ball by Ensberg. That pitch designed to be out there. It was up and in. That front part just opening dramatically for Ensberg. Can't come inside to him in this situation.
Now a 2-2. Full count. Full count, runners at first and second, 1 out.
I don't know whether Phil Garner can afford to send the runners here.
Not with the way Ensberg's struggling.
Exactly.
They're going. Ensberg fouls it. So trying to press the issue and push it forward. Garner sends the runners despite the struggling Morgan Ensberg being at the plate with 2 strikes on him.
If you're Brzezinski, what they may have third baseman Joe Creedy do is not cover third and to throw through at second because Berkman is so much slower than Taveras. So if Ensberg swings through one, I think the play's to second base and not to third.
They're going. Ensberg strikes out. Pierzynski has no throw. So Ensberg's talking to himself on his way back to the dugout. It's second and third, 2 out, and Mike Lamb coming up.
This is a mistake. You can see Pierzynski setting up outside. The fastball tails inside. And Garcia happy that he got the strikeout. Of course, you had 2 runners advance on the double steal. But the key play was the strikeout of Ensberg.
And now Ozzie Guillen out to talk to Garcia about what their strategy will be with first base open. The left-handed hitting Lamb up. And Lane on deck. So while they talk, we'll tell you this week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with a showdown between bitter NFC rivals as the Redskins take on the Giants. That's turned into a good game. Then the Eagles visit Denver to battle the Broncos or other regional action. It all begins with America's #1 pregame show this week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox. That will be a special game with the passing of Wellington Mara. With the Redskins and the Giants renewing that rivalry. Lamb 1 for 2 tonight. Doubled and bounced into a force out. The Astros were looking for a big hit. For 5 innings last night, couldn't get it. Now they need one out of Mike Lamb. This postseason is 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Looks more and more like they'll pitch around Lamb and work to Lane.
Brzezinski looking over to the dugout. Yeah, clearly what Garcia is trying to do is to get Lamb out on pitches out of the strike zone, and now they're just going to walk it. Similar situation to Lance Berkman in extra innings last night.
So an intentional pass to load him up. Jason Lane, who delivered a key 2-out RBI double in the 8th inning to tie last night's game at 5, walks to the plate. Lane in the postseason has been a .346 hitter here at home. Only 115 on the road. Tonight 0 for 2. Strike 1 on the inside corner.
Just catching the corner to Lane.
Lane went after a bad ball down and away. It's 0-2.
I think Jason's going to see that pitch again. No sense in coming back in with the bases loaded to come back inside, because you go on the theory that he's already set up. Back outside.
Fouled back. How, if you're Jason Lane or any Astro hitter in this situation, do you not press? You're down 3 games to nothing. Your offense has been shut down. You're dying for a key 2-out hit. You're getting an unbelievable pitching performance from Brandon Backey. And here you are set up at 0-2 now, facing a nasty right-hander in Freddie Garcia. To third and foul. Backey in the 7th inning will work to Konerko, Pierzynski, and Rowan. Ensberg is over there wondering what has happened to his swing. Foul will get out of play. You come into this World Series and you talk about pitching matchups, and pitching will dominate. You think of names like Andy Pettit and Roger Clemens and Roy Oswalt, Contreras with the way he's pitched, Burley, Garland. And the pitcher's duel that we finally have before us is between Freddie Garcia and Brandon Backey.
Do it again, says Garcia. Go through the sequence. A lot of times you'll have to do that with a runner on at second base. Change things around.
Pierzynski blocks it.
Garcia led the major leagues in wild pitches with 20. He shared that dubious distinction with Jose Contreras, his teammate. Good play by Pierzynski.
Left arm of A.J. Pierzynski just saved a run with the speed of Willie Taveras, the lead man at third. Also a franchise record. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 out. Slow roller foul. After getting 2 quick strikes on Lane, Garcia having trouble putting him away. Freddie Garcia approaching 100 pitches for the night. Lane strikes out on a pitch up and in, and the inning is over. The Astros have stranded 6. We go to the 7th inning. Lane in the battle ends up losing to Garcia. Still no score in Game 4. Back after this from your local station. Now Jason Lane is left to ponder how the bottom of the 6th inning ended on that strikeout by Freddie Garcia, and the reaction at Jimbo's bar on the south side. That's what it looks like from behind the bar at Jimbo's. And Garcia, Freddie Garcia, getting congratulated in the dugout after getting out of that 6th inning jam. And now in the 7th, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the White Sox. That means Konerko, Pierzynski, and Rowan against Brandon Backey. Ball 1. Backey has struck out 6, walked nobody, and allowed 3 hits. One 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night after the game ended, Phil Garner went right to the media session, said if we had played 40 innings, it looked like we were never going to score, and was apologetic to Houston fans for the way his offense performed in Game 3. Good tight breaking ball from Backey. It's 1 and 2.
Even saying last night that he was angry at the performance of his team, throwing the chair after the home run that Blum hit. Again, Backey's slider remains.
Konerko pops it straight up into left. Berkman, 1 out. What a night for Brandon Backey.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. Come, help me. Make your baby understand.
Takes care of Konerko to start the top of the 7th. 6 1/3, no runs, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts to no walks. So for a guy who's pumped up, adrenaline coursing through those veins, he has not walked anybody. Here is A.J. Pierzynski. Ooh, dangerous foul ball toward the Houston dugout. John Cicada did a fantastic job with the Star Spangled Banner before the game on the heels of the Latino Legends celebration. New album out, Same Dream. And at the break here after the top of the 7th, Lyle Lovett will be performing God Bless America. Will it still be 0-0 in the 7th? Will Pierzynski and or Rowan do something about this scoreless tie? Well, he's had these hitters off balance all night. 2 out.
Off balance and coming up empty. Let's take a look at the 6 strikeouts of Brandon Backey. The change up to Konerko. And then he just wears out that area of the plate. Low and away to right-handers with that slider for the 4th strikeout. And he gets Jermaine Dye for strikeout number 6. He has been picture perfect on that ball just out of the strike zone to the White Sox hitters.
Here's Rowan. Just inside for ball 1, and Backey really reacted after not getting that call.
Backey backed up and then came forward.
He did.
He wanted that fastball, and you can't blame him.
No, that's a good pitch. Here's a 1-0. 2-0. And now Backey is doing it again. He's trying to calm himself down.
Yep.
You think about that first pitch, it was called a strike to Jason Lane in the bottom of the 6th, and then that first pitch to Rowan, you can understand the Astros' frustration. Here is a 2-0. Nasty pitch on 2-0.
The slider again. He is just wearing out that outside corner to right-handed batters.
So the count's now 2-1. 2 out, nobody on. Backey, base hit into center. Slider stayed up and into center. Went the ball off the bat of Rowan, and the inning will continue for Joe Creedy.
Well, remember, this is the same White Sox lineup that adjusted to Roy Oswalt last night. 2 times through the lineup. That 3rd time, they started looking for the breaking ball. Rowan appeared to be there. And gets ahead. Brandon Backey had retired 8 in a row before that single by Rowan.
So here's Creedy. could further cement his name in White Sox history with something big here in Game 4 in this spot. What a postseason he's had with the bat and with the glove. Ball one. Backey at one point last night actually went down to start to get loose. We were approaching the 14th inning. Now here he is tonight, freezing Freedy with strike one. On the other side, as you look at the replay, when Ozzie Guillen brought in Burley, he was going to bring in Burley for the rest of the 14th, and that's it. If the Astros had tied it, Pablo Ozuna was going to come in to pitch.
Not bad.
A position play.
Right.
Ozzie Guillen said, I'll take my criticism and I'll move on and look ahead to Game 4.
He said, I know I would have gotten ripped, but I don't care. And you know, when he says he doesn't care about media scrutiny, he doesn't.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Some guys say it, and you can see right through it.
That's right. That's right.
Not Guillen.
No.
The 1-1. Throw down the first. Rowand is back in time. 2 strikes on Freedy at the plate.
Good throw by Brad Osmus. But Rowand back in time. Diving to the outside of the bag.
And now Backey with Vizcaíno getting loose for the White Sox in their pen. Backey, I think he probably just untied his shoe and then retied it.
Came out of his shoes.
Just to slow it down. One mistake could cost Backey and the Astros the game and this series. Freedy hits it in the air to left. This ball is off the wall. Rowand will dig for third. They're going to hold him at third. And it's second and third with 2 out here in the 7th. A double for Freedy, and it almost got out.
That was a hanging slider. Lance Berkman unnecessarily put up the decoy for Aaron Rowand. You can see him facing home plate and not going back on the ball. But with 2 outs, he's going to be running anyway. So there's no sense in doing it. Halfway up the wall, Rowand off with the pitch. Why did he slow down there? That was an odd thing with Rowand going into second base. There 2 outs. No need to slow down.
The reaction at Jimbo's. And now the reaction from the Astros is Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. He's going to go out and talk. You've got Uribe up. You've got first base open. The pitcher spot is due up next, and Carl Everett is standing in the on-deck circle. So the question is, do you want to work to Uribe, or do you want to take your chances with Everett? And the end result of having Everett at the plate here in the top of the 7th is you get Freddie Garcia out of the game. A single followed by a double with 2 out in the 7th.
Here's Aaron Rowand one more time running towards second. There are 2 outs. Why that? Why the slowdown? You just keep going until the third base coach stops you.
Backey will work from the windup. Uribe 0 for 2 tonight, 4 out of 14 in this World Series. Is he going to deliver the key hit? Strike one.
He's been there all night long, and I think Uribe will see that pitch again.
White Sox 0 for their last 10 with runners in scoring position. One ball, 1 strike. Hickey and Garner have never been so close. Hickey is right on Garner's back as they try to breathe in and breathe out and see if Backey can get Uribe and keep it scoreless. Uribe trying to put the White Sox on top. Strike two.
Again, the slider.
Off the end of the bat, down the line, foul. Uribe just got a piece of it. More heart-pounding action in this World Series, despite the lopsided count of 3-0. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brandon Backey is having the night of his big league life. A shutout through 7. He jumped halfway to the first baseline to get off the field. Time to stretch right now. We go to public address announcer Bob Ford.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with God Bless America. Performed tonight by 4-time Grammy winner and Houston native, Mr. Lyle Lovett.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lyle Lovett.
Brad Ausmus is first up. Bottom of the 7th inning, no score. White Sox 5 hits, Astros 4 hits. And a strike to Ausmus. A base hit leading off in the 5th. Added to his .571 on base percentage when leading off an inning this postseason. Late swing, it's 0-2. Our Bank of America game summary. 10 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. Garcia is working in the 7th. Backey just got through the 7th. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position of the Astros. 0 for 3 are the White Sox. Astros have gotten guys on, but can't get them in. Away 1-2.
Quick check at last night's game. In the last 16 innings, as Brad Lidge is up and throwing for the Astros, last 16 innings for the White Sox, they've scored 2 runs. The last 15 innings for the Astros, they've scored 1 run.
Dustin Hermanson now getting loose. Viz Caino was up in the top of this 7th. Osmus with a count of 2-2. Pops it into right. Easy for Jermaine Dye. 1 down. Osmus 1 for 3, and Adam Everett will walk to the plate with a pitcher Backey on deck. Garcia at 100 pitches for the night. Everett has bounced into a double play even on a hit and run. Did that in the 5th, grounded out in the 2nd. So only 1 hit in this World Series in 14 at bats. In the 8th inning for the White Sox, it's the pitcher spot. Podsednik and Iguchi. One ball, 1 strike to Everett. Broken bat, flare into left center field. Out is Uribe, and in is Podsednik, who takes a divot and makes the catch. 2 down, and what a play by Scott Podsednik.
Tearing up a piece of the turf in the process. His left knee digging into the turf here in Houston. Scott appears to be all right. Fine play.
And now Bagwell is going to come off the bench and bat for Brandon Backey. So Phil Garner is going to Jeff Bagwell, hoping for 1 swing to get a run and take the lead here in the 7th. Problem is, since his May 2nd surgery, the power has not been there for Jeff Bagwell. That's what he's done in this World Series. Started the first 2 games as the DH. 449 career home runs. With 2 out, Bagwell takes a strike from Freddie Garcia.
I'll tell you, a lonely spot in this ballpark tonight, the middle of the plate.
Both starters have stayed away from it. Bagwell trying to launch one. You can see how different his swing is. It's almost like he gets through the hitting zone and then it just stops.
That's why Jeff, with that bad shoulder, is more of a low ball hitter, because he can't get on top of that letter high breaking ball or fastball. His only hit coming on the low fastball from Bobby Jinks.
Bagwell takes the ball. Jeff Bagwell has not hit a home run since April 29th. A career .297 hitter, over 1,500 RBIs. As I mentioned, 449 home runs. Backey is still pacing in the dugout. He's out of the game after 7 shutout innings. Bagwell with a tap to the second baseman, Iguchi. This game, game 4, goes to the 8th. White Sox up 3 games to nothing. Astros trying to force a game tomorrow night. Take the field in the 8th. No score. Willie Harris is going to come off the bench and try to get it started for the White Sox here in the 8th, batting for Freddie Garcia. Our John Hancock in-game box score. Podsednik has a hit, 2 for Dye. Back-to-back hits by Rowand and Creedy in the 7th, but Uribe struck out. He's 0 for 3. Brandon Backey was terrific. He goes 7, no runs, 5 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Garcia, 7 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 1 of them intentional, and 7 strikeouts. And here is Brad Lidge, the closer for Houston. Last night in that 14-inning game, Lidge worked an inning and a third, struck out 3. Cliff Polite takes over for the White Sox in their pen. So it looks like he will head to work in the bottom of this 8th as Garcia is lifted for Willie Harris, who's 1 for 1 this postseason. This is only his 3rd game. Left-handed batter is Harris. He takes a strike. Both teams combined tonight, 14 strikeouts, 9 hits, no runs, total 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. 2 quick strikes on Willie Harris. That's after 5 hours and 41 minutes in game 3.
And to add further to the effectiveness of Brandon Backey tonight, you've heard that expression, get the first out of the inning. He got the first 2 outs of every inning but the 4th. When Guy led off the inning with a single, and then he struck out the side. Terrific job by both Backey and Garcia.
Here's a 0-2. Harris takes the ball. Backey is still down there pacing and glaring, and I'm sure in some respect upset that he's not back out there for the 8th. He threw 100 pitches. Garcia threw 107. Both guys went scoreless through the 7th. A 1-2. Harris. 2-2. Here's a desperate team, the Houston Astros, getting 7 out of Backey and going to their closer, Brad Lidge, in the 8th in a scoreless game. Harris starts in with a base hit into left. He's 2 for 2 in the postseason. Will that spark something big for the White Sox? Scott Podsednik will dig in. He went deep off Brad Lidge to end game 2. His 2nd home run of this postseason after going homerless during the regular year.
I don't think Scott will be swinging here. I think the bunt is in order. Innsberg thinks so.
We've got Podsednik at the plate, and Carl Everett has grabbed a bat. He's in the on-deck circle, and it looks like he'll bat for Iguchi. The bunt, a good one. Lidge to first for the out. Podsednik, such a fundamentally sound player, gets down the sacrifice bunt, score at 1-4. With Biggio taking the throw and the go-ahead run at second with 1 out in the 8th.
Podsednik making Lidge feel the ball, and Brad's only play is to first base. This situation with the guy coming fresh off the bench, I don't think you pitch around him. I think you go right after him. You've got Jermaine Dye swinging a hot bat, the power of Konerko in the hole. I think Phil Garner and Brad Lidge, their strategy right here is to go right after Everett.
Everett last night pinch hit in the 8th and got a base hit. The DH this season for the White Sox. He is taking a long time to dig in at the plate. Go ahead run at second, 1 out in the top of the 8th. Everett grounds to Biggio. Runner to third, 2 out. So Harris is 90 feet away, 2 out here in the top of the 8th. Backey is more nervous now than at any point during the first 7 innings.
And when you're out there, you can do something about it. In the dugout, you can't.
Here's Dye. He's had a nice night, 2 out of 3 with a double, a single. He's struck out. And now deal with Brad Lidge. 1-2 pitch. 2-1. So Harris is 90 feet away, 2 out here in the top of the 8th. Backey is more nervous now than at any point during the first 7 innings. Here's Dye. He's had a nice night, 2 out of 3 with a double, a single. He's struck out. And now deal with Brad Lidge.
slider.
Not a lot of closers ever work from the windup. Lidge does here with a runner at third, 2 out. Ball 1 strike as it's blocked by Ausmus. Between pitches, this stadium sounds like it did at 2:30 this afternoon. There are over 42,000 people packed in here, hoping that Lidge can get Jermaine Dye. That's up the middle, and the White Sox take the lead. A 2-out RBI hit by Jermaine Dye, and Chicago is on top here in the top of the 8th. Brad Lidge gives up another big run.
A continuing burden. A good pitch to Dye. Right back to where no one is.
Harris got it started with a leadoff pinch hit single. Bunted to second, went to third on the ground out by Everett, and scores on the hit by Dye. So Lidge gives up the home run to Pujols in Game 5 of the NLCS. Gives up the walk-off home run to Podsednik to end Game 2, and now here in Game 4 with his team facing elimination. Gives up a 2-out RBI hit to Jermaine Dye to make it 1-0 White Sox. Konerko. 98 miles per hour, strike 1.
That was an angry fastball to Konerko.
Jermaine Dye has never had a bigger hit in his life. He leads from first with 2 out. And it's 0-2 on Konerko. The Astros in the bottom of this 8th will have the top of their lineup. It'll be Cliff Polite on the mound for the White Sox.
Talk about a big hit for Jermaine Dye. What about Willie Harris? The hit of his life. 2 hits of 2 lives here in the 8th.
Check on Dye. 7 shutout innings from Brandon Backey. And then Brad Lidge comes in and gives up a run in the 8th. Willie Harris, who hit .256 for Chicago this season, started it with a pinch hit single. Here's a 0-2 to Konerko. The inning is over, but the damage is done. The White Sox are closing in on it. Harris got it started. Podsednik helped, and Dye cashed in for Chicago. Bottom of the 8th, Game 4. Houston with the top of their order coming up, down 1-0. We welcome you back, bottom of the 8th inning, and finally there's a run on the board. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver with you, 1-0. Chicago out in front, and here they are, 6 defensive outs away from their first World Championship in 88 years.
Ozzie Guillen has gone to Cliff Polite, the right-hander who appeared in last night's game, but who didn't appear in last night's game? Everybody did, except us.
Except us. Willie Harris stays in the game. Takes over at second base. The pitcher, Polite, will bat in the number 2 spot, where Everett pinch hit. Biggio first up, and a strike over the outside corner. Cliff Polite came up as a 24-year-old in 1998 with his hometown team, the St. Louis Cardinals. He's bounced around since then. In the Philadelphia, Toronto, now the White Sox. Had a very good year. And he is handed a 1-run lead in the 8th. A check swing ground ball foul. It's 0-2 on Biggio, who's 1 for 3. That's what Polite did against the opposition, holding them to a 181 average. during the course of the regular season. The 0-2. Ball one.
This White Sox pitching during the postseason has been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Garcia tonight picks up where Garland left off. Burley before him. Contreras. Their big four and good work out of the bullpen. Here's a 1-2 from Polite. Popped up on the infield. It's a foul ball, and Pierzynski, greedy, and it drops between them.
That's Pierzynski's ball, and the reason is Joe Creedy was too deep guarding the line. It's an easier play for Creedy, but because of his depth, the ball didn't have a lot of hang time. Joe tried to one-hand it, but the Astros get a break.
No error on the play. But a second life for Biggio starting the 8th. Grounds to short. Uribe. One away. Biggio 1 for 4, and Willie Taveras will step to the plate as Polite gets the leadoff man. White Sox trying to finish off the sweep tonight. The 21 teams who have been up 3 games to none in World Series history, 18 have gone on to sweep. That includes last year the Boston Red Sox doing it in St. Louis. Taveras. Ball one. Only one extra base hit tonight for Houston. That was a double by Lamb leading off the second, and he never moved after that. One out, nobody on, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-1.
Taveras with a single his last time up, clearly trying to go to right field with those swings. Top hand coming off the bat.
Off the hand of Taveras, and down to first he goes. So another hit batsman in this series, and Taveras caught it off his hand, and he takes first base.
Well, again, you can see how far Cliff Polite missed with that fastball. Pierzynski setting up outside, and the ball tailing inside, and hitting the left hand of Willie Taveras.
In a postseason filled with controversial calls and guys being awarded first base when they shouldn't have been, there is no doubt that Willie Taveras was hit by that pitch up and in from Polite. So Taveras gets looked at. And we take a look back at the season for the White Sox. American League best 99 wins during the regular season, won the AL Central. Swept Boston in the division series. Won 4 games to 1 over the Angels. Starting pitchers have 4 complete games and a 2.23 ERA. They've won 7 in a row. 10-1 during this postseason. Entering this World Series, Konerko 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. He has added to that with that grand slam. He now has 5 homers, 15 RBIs in the postseason. He holds with Taveras running. talked about how tentative Willie Taveras has been on the bases. He's got Berkman up, and somewhat surprising that with Kotz ready to go, the White Sox don't turn Berkman around and make him bat right-handed.
Yeah, because he's got the hole on the right side, hitting left-handed. You have to hold Taveras on.
That gets away, and the tying run down to second. The wild pitch puts Taveras at second with 1 out.
Looked like a split-finger fastball that gets away from Pierzynski. Taveras easily going to second. He had an idea about going to third. Pierzynski couldn't find that ball initially. Finally, Carouser.
Now they'll put Berkman on, which is interesting as well, as Polito almost threw it away. They're putting the go-ahead run on here in the 8th inning of Game 4 of the World Series, and with Ensberg's struggles, they want Morgan Ensberg at the plate and want no part of Berkman.
I think that's absolutely the right move to make. You don't know how it's going to work out. Bill Garner once again telling us before the game, maybe Ensberg will run into one today. So far, he hasn't.
He ripped 1 foul. That's about all he can say about his night. He's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, and Don Cooper is out to talk. Left-hander and a right-hander are loose and ready to go for Chicago in their pen. But here's Polito, who just hit a batter, threw a wild pitch, and almost threw it away when they were giving an intentional pass to Berkman. Twice.
Well, Don Cooper, a very good pitching coach and very smart. I think he's out there to tell him about positioning. Don't throw him a fastball inside unless it's way inside off the plate. Don't try to get him out inside.
Kotz and Jenks are getting loose for the White Sox in their bullpen. Right now, it's a battle between Ensberg and Cliff Polito. Ozzie Guillen does not go to his big right-hander, Jenks. With a game on the line here in the 8th. Ball 1 outside. Ball 2 outside. On deck, the left-handed hitting Mike Lamb. Center field, Rowan to his left. Taveras tags, goes to third, 2 out. First and third, 2 out as Ensberg sent one to right center.
And hit it to the wrong guy. Nobody gets a better jump on a ball than Aaron Rowan. He is all over the place in center field. Potential Gold Glover. Taveras goes to third easily.
Ozzie Guillen will go to the left-hander. It'll be Kotz with Lamb coming up. First and third, 2 out in the 8th, 1-0 Chicago. Neil Kotz has worked in 5 games this postseason, 2 full innings, 1 hit, a walk, 2 strikeouts. And he will pitch to Jose Vizcaino to bat for Mike Lamb. Remember, Vizcaino tied game 2 in the 9th inning with a 2-out, 2-run hit. That was batting left-handed. Now the switch hitter hits right-handed and takes a ball from Kotz. Lamb lifted for the pinch hitter. And Vizcaíno did not go around. Pierzynski pleaded with Darryl Cousins to appeal on this pitch up and in, saying that the bat went around.
Yeah, the body went around, but it did not appear the bat did. Nope.
Vizcaíno 2-1. 13 2/3 innings since the Astros last scored. And they asked Vizcaíno to get it done. Go back to the 2000 World Series Game 1. He won it in extra innings. In Game 2, game-tying hit off Bobby James. Here's a pitch on the inside corner. It's 2-2, and Vizcaíno spins out of there, thinking that was down and in.
Right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. First and third, 2 out. 1-0 White Sox, and Vizcaíno grounds one slowly. Backhand pick up and throw for the out. And the White Sox hang on to their lead. A hit batsman, a wild pitch, a walk in the inning. Uribe gets it to first in time to get Vizcaíno. It's still 1-0 White Sox after 8 in Game 4. First pitch up and away from Brad Lidge. A.J. Pierzynski leads off the 9th inning. Vizcaíno stays in the game. He's at first. Pinch hit for Lamb. 1-0 the White Sox leading. 9th inning, Game 4. Chicago up 3-0. The White Sox finished the regular season winning their last 5, including a 3-game sweep in Cleveland after they had already clinched. They're 10-1 in the postseason, so they've won 15 of their last 16. They're 5-0 on the road this postseason. That's foul, and strike 2 off the bat of Pierzynski. On deck is Aaron Rowan. A 2-out RBI hit by Jermaine Dye at the top of the 8th inning, the only run of this game. The 1-2. Pierzynski fights it off. In the bottom of the 9th, it will be Lane, Ausmus, and Everett, the 3 scheduled hitters. Pierzynski hooks one down the right field line. It's fair. Lane goes over to play it. Pierzynski will make it into second with a double. A.J. Pierzynski with his first hit of the night. Trying to help the White Sox get a little breathing room here in the top of the 9th inning.
Looked like a slider down and in. You called it right, Joe. He hooked it down in the corner and legs out a double. Before the game tonight, Ozzie Guillen was talking about last night's game. He said if Aaron Rowan in the 2nd inning with runners on at first and second, nobody out, if we were playing in the American League, I would have had him bunting. Well, the White Sox, with the pinch hitter for the pitcher now, they're in a bunting situation with Rowan. Normally you wouldn't, because the pitcher's 3 spots away, but here you would.
Rowan bunts it foul. We talked about it yesterday that Lidge has been a guy who has stood in front of the cameras, stood in front of the microphones, talked about putting last night's game behind him, the struggles that he's had, the Pujols home run, Podsednik home run, gave up the run in the 8th inning tonight. After 7 shutout innings from Brandon Backey. The 0-1. Rowan bunts it. I don't know how he got it down. It will trickle foul. It's 0-2. Thing was over his head.
Had he not gotten that ball down, it could have hit him flush in the face. Watch where this fastball is. Well, maybe not in the face. It was out over the plate a little more than I thought. Triples foul.
0-2. This Astro pitching has had to try and be letter perfect because the offense for Houston has disappeared. Imperative for Lidge to keep it a one-run game. The 0-2. Struck him out.
I don't think that's a good play right there. Aaron Rowan, too good a hitter. He could hit a ground ball the other way. But when you bunt it foul with 2 strikes, you are out.
You get the feeling by watching that Rowan did that on his own.
You certainly do. I don't think Ozzie Guillen would give a guy like Aaron Rowan a bunt sign with 2 strikes. Aaron probably doing it on his own. Trying to read Ozzie's feelings is not very difficult.
No, it's not. No, not too hard.
No.
Just look at his sleeve. In case you have just joined us, the Astros have not scored since the 8th inning of last night's Game 3. Jermaine Dye has 3 hits tonight, but the biggest is 2-out RBI single in the 8th. Freedy at the plate. Pierzynski at second, 1 out. Ball 1. Freedy doubled his last time up in the 7th off Backey. And Brandon came back to strike out Uribe and keep it a scoreless game. One ball, 1 strike. Freedy with 11 RBIs this postseason. He has certainly taken the next step in his career. Runner at second, 1 out. Late with that swing, it's 1-2. Think about the ride that these Astros have been on this season. A remarkable comeback, 15 games under the 500 mark, had to fight to the last day. These fans living and dying here in Houston with every pitch down the stretch, and they clinched on the final day. The wild card winners in the National League. The 1-2. It gets away from Osmus. His throw down to first for the second out. 3rd strikeout for Lidge.
Good play by Osmus, moving to his left and finishing the play.
Now it's Juan Uribe. Lidge doing his best to keep it a 1-run game. Again, Lane, Osmus, and Everett, the scheduled hitters at the bottom of this night. Pierzynski, a leadoff double. He's out there with 2 out. Uribe grounds to third. Ensberg. It's still 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the hometown Astros. Down 3 games to nothing. They'll deal with a 24-year-old Bobby Jenks trying to wrap up the World Series for the White Sox. So here we go into the bottom of the 9th inning of Game 4. White Sox 3 outs away from their first World Series title in 88 years. Bobby Jenks, the 24-year-old right-hander, takes over with Jason Lane, Brad Osmus, and Adam Everett, the scheduled hitters. The White Sox proud manager, Ozzie Guillen, 41 years old. Venezuela. Part of that shortstop pipeline from Venezuela to the big leagues. Names like Chico Carrasqual, who passed away this year, and a dear friend and inspiration to Ozzie Guillen. Louis Aparicio, Davey Concepcion, Guillen and Vizquel. And now, as a 41-year-old manager, Ozzie Guillen has tapped Jenks on the right shoulder. Said, go finish it. And Lane takes a strike. Jason is 0 for 3. One ball, one strike, 99 miles per hour from Jenks. Astros need a spark or a blast.
Anything to inspire this crowd. Anything.
The crowd and the rest of the lineup tonight has been shut out on 4 hits. The 2-1. 97 miles per hour. It's 2-2.
Bobby Jenks throws so hard that normally you would guard the line at third base. But I think in this situation, I can't see Jason Lane pulling a ball down the line. Not with the way Jenks is throwing.
Full count.
Talked about it in last night's game. The best chance for the Astros is to try to swing at the ball down in the strike zone. Up, he's got you.
Lane flares one into center. That ball is trouble. That ball's a hit. And the Astros have their leadoff man on. Houston's first hit since the 6th.
But Jason Lane drops a little parachute into shallow center to open the 9th for the Astros.
Ozzie Guillen up 2 steps from the bottom of the dugout, trying to position his outfield as Ausmus steps in. 1 for 3 tonight. How will the Astros play it with a tying run at first and nobody out in the 9th? The bunt, a good one. Down to second is the tying run. Lane on the sacrifice 3-4 off the bat of Ausmus.
The Astros have advanced runners to second, a couple to third, but none home. Only 1 play for Canerco. I think the White Sox are happy to get that out.
Chicago 2 outs away. The Astros possibly a hit away from tying this game. Everett is called back. Chris Burke is going to come off the bench. Burke has hit 2 postseason home runs. And the first from Spence, high, ball 1. Burke this postseason is 8 for 27. With 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Right down the middle, 2-1.
This may be a small thing, but I think Phil Garner should announce his pinch hitter right now, because Brad Lidge is on deck, and he's going to have to be responsible for telling the runner whether to get down or not should Burke get a hit. And pitchers aren't able to do that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Burke swung right through it.
A high fastball from Jinks.
Good rip by Burke. Still 2-2.
Drop that fastball down about 6 inches, and it's hittable.
Astros still needing that hit. Burke pops it up. Left side. Will it stay in play? The catch is made by Uribe. An unbelievable grab. Ending up in the crowd as he pulls in out number 2 in the 9th.
What a remarkable play with his back facing first base, catching it, and then tumbling into the crowd here at Minute Maid Park. My goodness, what a play.
So now 2 out. The White Sox 1 out away. And Orlando Palmeiro will come off the bench to pinch hit. And Don Cooper will head out to the mound to talk to Bobby Jenks.
Joe Creedy had the bad angle. Uribe making the play.
Wow. The White Sox continue to prove that they can win postseason games in so many different ways, with pitching, with situational hitting, with moving runners along, great defense, as we just saw from Uribe, and now they're 1 out away from the championship. The Astros have had 18 runners on base since they last scored in the 8th inning of Game 3. They have left 18 men on. And now it's Palmeiro looking for the 2-out hit. Lane, the tying run at second. Jenks high for ball 1. Orlando Palmeiro broke his back, fouls it out of play off to the right. We've been showing you the scenes from Jimbo's bar. What does this mean to the South Side? A collection of neighborhoods like Beverly, Mount Greenwood, Hyde Park, back of the yards, Canaryville, Bridgeport, Irish neighborhoods, Italian neighborhoods, Polish, Lithuanian, firemen, policemen, school teachers, stockyard workers. They filed into the ballpark on Saturday night saying this is what it feels like to be in a World Series. They won Game 1. They won Game 2 in dramatic fashion. They came to Houston. Last night it took 14 innings, but the White Sox got the victory. And now they're 1 out away from their first World Championship in 88 years. Not since 1917. Palmeiro trying to extend it. 1-2.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmeiro over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. Juan Uribe with a play, charging it, throwing it, and the White Sox celebrate their first title in 88 years. Juan Uribe with 2 plays for the final 2 outs of this World Series that were breathtaking. And for this team that for so long has been considered the second team in the second city, no more. The Chicago White Sox are world champions.
No mas. Ozzie Guillen is a world champion manager at 41 years old.
And they will be celebrating in the streets of Caracas.
What about the plays made by Juan Uribe? With 1 out and a runner on at second base. Chris Burke, the batter. The foul ball down the left field line. Uribe tumbling into the stands and then ends it with an equally dramatic play, going to first base to just get Orlando Palmeiro. Back to back.
Uribe with a check of how far away from the stands he was, and then making the catch, tumbling into the seats for route number 2. And then the chopper by Palmeiro. He was out.
He was out.
First base umpire Gary Cederstrom called him out. Got the call right. And the White Sox win the clincher in Game 4, 1-0.
Last 1-0 game to end the World Series back in 1995 when Tommy Glavine beat the Cleveland Indians.
The year was 1917. What was going on? John F. Kennedy and Harry Carey were born that year. Woodrow Wilson was president. Walt Disney graduated high school. A first-class stamp cost 3 cents, and there were 16 teams in the major leagues. Now in 2005, the Chicago White Sox have the respect of being world champions. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Jermaine Dye, drove in the only run of the night with a 2-out base hit in the 8th on Brad Lidge. In recognition of his outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Chevy, an American revolution. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
There's no second city tonight, Joe. 88 years on a field in Texas. A.J. Brzezinski hugging Scott Pezendek. Hey, A.J., stay here with us for a second. All right, and Scott, congratulations back in Chicago. They can't believe it. Can you?
Now I can. Now I can. Fortunate enough, just feel fortunate to be a part of this. Without the trade this winter, I would have never been here. So hats off to Kenny Williams for making the deal. And just an overwhelming sense of accomplishment.
Tonight typified this team. Everybody played a part. Good defense. Jermaine Dye delivering. Good pitching.
Everybody's played a part from day one. We've had a different hero step up every night. You know, this team was labeled small ball in spring training. That was going to be the way we went scoring runs. So it was only right that we manufactured a run there tonight to win the ball game.
And just talk about the team. They were all close games, battle them out. I mean, it wasn't exactly a disco demolition night, but you did. This is 8 straight in the postseason.
Hats off to the Houston Astros. They grinded it out from the beginning. I don't think anyone was expecting those guys to be here after the first month. So hats off to them. they were a class act the whole way.
All right, congratulations, Scott. And A.J. Brzezinski here, a guy who brought a lot of attitude to this team. It's a winning attitude. Congratulations.
Thank you. Unbelievable. That's all I can say. It's unbelievable. What a year. And to win 1-0, that's the way we started the first half. That's the way we started the second half, and now that's the way we should have ended it.
How would you describe, you talked about chemistry and seamless on any type of team. How did this come together?
A lot of people that liked each other. Kenny Williams did a great job. A lot of people that liked each other, wanting to win for each other. And you see the results here. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know what to say right now.
All right, congratulations on the celebration. All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. A.J. Brzezinski, White Sox, after 88 years celebrating here in Texas. Let's go back upstairs. Joe?
All right, Jermaine Dye, the MVP. A key free agent acquisition acquired by Kenny Williams. Kenny Williams doing his job to put this team together, and here on October 26th, they celebrate in Houston. The Chevrolet postgame show is coming up next.